Please, could you introduce yourselves for the record?
Good afternoon, Chairman. Harsha Amarasekara, Chairman, Port City Economic Commission.
SS Mudaligiya, Deputy Secretary of the Treasury.
Kapugala, Deputy Secretary Treasury.
Then DG, Ministry of Finance.
Sanjay Kulatunga, Commission Member.
Aman Kabra, Commission Member.
Port City.
Devi Fernando, Commission General Inner Revenue.
Revan Vikramasuriya, Colombo Port City Economic Commission.
Amasara Gajatera, State Counsel from the Attorney General's Department.
Kapil Senanayaka, Director General, Department of Fiscal Policy.
Anuja Pereira, Tax Policy Advisor, Department of Fiscal Policy.
Priyanka Disabandara, Commissioner, Risk Management Unit, Inland Revenue Department.
Sudarshan Silva, Director, National Budget Department.
I am Darshan Ratnayaka, Director, Ministry of Finance.
Taraka Jayasundara, Assistant Director, Department of Fiscal Policy.
Pushpa Damayanti, Director, Department of
There is a
National
letter
Planning.
sent by the Secretary of Finance the other day.
Hasham Rajanan, Analyst, Colombo Port City Economic Commission.
Thank you. We will take the Port City matter first, so then you all can leave after.
So that's the public-private partnership. That is separate entity, sir. National Agency Public-Private. So what is the DG function in the finance? This is basically to look after all the SOEs comes under the purview of Ministry of Finance. All the SOEs. Yeah.
Right. And now this is a sort of a follow-up based on what we discussed previously. Mr. Chairman, you were not here. Two of your commission members, Dr. Sanjay Kulatunga and Dr. Harsha Subasinghe, represented the commission. Mr. Revan...
Harsha is not there today.
Oh, that Harsha is not here.
Yes. One Harsha is here, not the other Harsha, Mr. Chairman.
So too many Harshas.
Mutually exclusive situation.
Yeah, and DG was there too. DG, yeah, Mr. Cabral was also not there last time. So just to give a very quick recap, why we are here is the question was, is tax advisor of the ministry not here today? All right, she's there. The reason why we wanted to talk to you is to understand why some 70 odd applications for authorized persons, I guess, were not approved. So that is the question. It's very simple. If the answer is 2 words, so be it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The simple answer is from the 1st of July or from the 4th of July, the Commission was of the view that in view of the letter of intent that was signed by His Excellency the President along with the IMF, the Port City Economic Commission were precluded from giving any further tax incentives until such time that the Port City Act was amended. The Port City Act was due to be amended in October of 2025. It came before your committee at the meeting that I was not present on the last occasion. So I believe the Act was certified today. No sooner the Act is now certified and gazetted, all those APs that are pending approval would be approved.
Now I went through this document, Mr. Chairman. I can't find any reference to authorized persons. There is multiple references to BSIs and multiple references to primary and secondary. But we are not talking about BSI. We are talking about providing the person with the authority to operate. Because it's from what we understood from the commission members and the DG last time, correct me if I'm wrong, is that this is a two-step process. Step 1 is you become an authorized person. Step 2, you request for a BSI status. If you are approved as a BSI, you'll get whatever the standing incentives are. earlier used to be X number of years of tax-free basis, currently Y number of tax-free years. That's it. So we are not asking you about BSI. We are asking you about AP. And let me add to that, the debate that we had after the meeting was adjourned was that the finance ministry clearly disagreed with the Port City Commission members that they at any time told the Port City Commission that they couldn't approve APs.
Mr. Chairman, the letter of intent discusses two aspects. One is the primary BSI and the secondary BSIs, which are dealt through regulations. And that came before your committee the very first time that we were here, which is the primary BSIs and the secondary BSIs. The reference in the letter of intent to the amendment of the Port City Act has to do with the exemption given to income tax payable to the employees. And that has to do only with the AP approval process.
What are you referring to? This recent one?
Yes, the 2025.
Yeah, but that has no reference. The IMF document has no reference to the AP.
It has a reference to the amendment to the Port City Act. The Port City Act amendment is with reference to the removal of the exemptions granted to employees working within the Port City.
Correct. But
so the moment we approve an AP, every employee is entitled to exemption from the employee tax.
Right. You check that with the Ministry of Finance. The
Yes,
Ministry of Finance, because we don't necessarily deal with the Port City Commission. Even today or every other time that you are present at this committee, Mr. Chairman, it is the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance who would present the documentation. Because all gazettes are under the signature of the Honorable President of Sri Lanka, who is the Minister of Finance. So you are actually an associate. You are not the real, what do you call, direct, what's the word I'm looking for? Contact, if I may say so, with the Oversight Committee. So I want to direct the question to the Ministry of Finance. I'm very much aware of the fact that you are a very senior President's Counsel, and your skills of arguing a case is far better than mine. Having said that, I will ask the same question from the tax advisor to the Ministry of Finance, or the DG, whoever it is.
So, thanks for raising this question. In fact, if you carefully go through this letter which was issued by the ST on 31st October, we have
Which letter are you referring to, please? Can we have a copy of the letter?
Yeah, 31st October 2025. I hope that the letter is with the copy of the letter is with you.
I don't know. There are so many letters we get from the Secretary of Treasury.
Okay.
Which letter are you referring to?
So I'll give the copy of it, and it has given references for the cabinet decision which was made by the Cabinet of Ministers on amending the Act, Port City Act. It clearly mentioned issuing of pay tax for the AP license, because once you get the APs, status of the approval person, you are entitled, your employees are entitled, as per the provision of Section 35, the exemptions are there. So, with this continuous dialogue with the IMF and to have a rule-based mechanism to SBs and change of the provisions of the Act, Cabinet has granted approval to introduce this amendment, which indicates we can go with 3 years pay tax exemption. That is the only exemption that we can given under the provisions of Section 35, which will be amended, and it seems that Honorable Speaker has signed it today. So, that provision was there. That's why even in the letter that we issued 31st October 2025, we clearly
Can I have a copy of that letter?
Sure.
Assistant. Excuse me, sir. Assistant. Yes, please go ahead.
So that is there on provision for the Amendment Act. So there's a change of the policy of the government on granting tax exemptions, employee taxes.
Hold on 1 minute. I'm just asking this more from a legal, probably AG can help me with this. Now we are having a similar debate, not in this context, but with regard to vice chancellors and all that. The question is to the AG, if the law has not been changed, can you, before the law is approved, tell somebody, don't apply the law?
My answer to that will be in the negative, Mr. Chairman. I would say that if the law has not changed, so that unchanged law will have to be applicable until the law is changed.
Right. Then I'm going to ask you, Mr. DG, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, because
No, first tell me, when was the law changed? Today?
it was passed by the parliament on
No,
7th of January.
it depends on when the signed technically.
Yeah, signed technically today.
So today.
Yeah.
So the law comes into force today.
Yes.
There was no law, in my layman's understanding, please, right, that was applicable in terms of not applying the existing law.
But there is a, the agreement with IMF during the negotiations and MEF.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
you broke the agreement multiple times. You gave 4 approvals, not for little BSIs, but huge projects.
Yes.
Who are the 4?
There are 4 primary BSIs.
Yeah, who are they?
1 second. I'll tell the 4. One is ICC Port City Private Limited.
What are they doing?
No, just a moment.
Sorry.
Those.
Mr. Chairman, please let him finish.
Right. The other one is Ceylon Real Estate Holding Private Limited. And the other one is IFC Colombo Private Limited. One more. Ceylon Real Estate. Sorry? Yes. That is there. 1 second. Clothespin Management and Development Private Limited.
Right. Now, I'm reading off the IMF agreement, document, members. It says, despite the commitment, you went and gave 4 approvals. You agreed with the IMF not to do it. But it says, despite that, you went ahead and gave 4 approvals. Therefore, IMF said, okay, go ahead, because you've already given it, go ahead. But please look at the cost benefit of that. So first we want to see the cost benefit of that. You broke the agreement. Agreement is not law. If you can break the agreement for these big guys, right, you do it anyway. On what basis are you now saying, look, we had an agreement, so therefore we couldn't give the small guys?
Okay, by our letter dated 31st October, we informed Port City Economic Management Commission to recommence the process. That means once you submit application, that doesn't grant any kind of assurance that you will get AP status, because there is a screening process. So they need to scrutinize whatever the documents that they have submitted along with the application.
Very good.
Then it is up to the commission to decide whether they need to grant it or not. It takes time.
I accept it. Now, you never gave us the application dates. We asked for the 70 people whose the applications were not approved, but you did not give us when they applied. So we don't know when they applied.
So
right? And how long does it take for an application to be processed? Right? Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The 4 violations that you referred to was subsequent to the first letter of intent signed by the previous President, His Excellency Ranil Wickremesinghe. That was a breach that took place as of September of 2024. That was part of the reason why, subsequent to the signing of the second letter of intent, we were very mindful not to be in violation of the undertaking that had been given in the second letter of intent. I'm just speaking on behalf of the Commission.
Mr. Chairman, you and I both know, and you know better than me, law cannot be ad hominem, no?
No.
Whether Ranil Wickremesinghe signs it or Gotabaya Rajapaksa signs it, they don't sign it under their name, no? They sign it as the President of Sri Lanka.
I'm just merely, I'm
The
merely
thing is
adverting
this,
to the fact.
One wrong doesn't make two wrongs.
We are not saying
No.
that. What I'm asking is, first of all, the law has to be applied. My point is that.
Across that, the basis of law is right.
Yeah.
But if the new government understood there has been a violation and we are not going to do any of such violation, the Commission has adhered to that only. That's what the point is.
I have no argument there.
Yeah, may
Mr.
I?
Chairman, just one moment, please. But my argument is, if the law came into effect today, on what basis did you not implement the applicable law?
Mr. Chairman, it was not that we did not implement. We did not accept any further applications for processing in order to give effect to the undertaking given by the Sri Lankan government to the IMF.
Right. Can you then give us when these applications,
Yes,
you
we
didn't
can
give
provide-
us, no?
we can
We don't
provide
know when
that.
these applications were given.
Yes, we
How
can
long does it, on average, take you, the Port Commission of Ceylon, or what do you call it, Port City Commission, to approve an AP application?
The DG will answer that
DG?
with your permission, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
Thank you. The application process involves the completion of a form which is online electronically and the submission of number of pieces of information which includes but not limited to a business plan and a proposal, a business proposal. Following receipt of that proposal, the Commission goes through a review process of the application. We call for declarations to be signed by the directors and key members of the applicant, making certain indemnities or making certain declarations. We go through a process of running a screening using a system called LexisNexis to check whether there are any sanctions violations, etc. This is a system I believe financial institutions and stuff use. And following the completion of that, there's an internal review, and then if acceptable to the internal review committee, it is submitted to the Commission. So that's for further review and a final approval. This process could take anywhere between a month or even longer, depending on the deliberations and the queries that may come up.
Now, that would differ significantly, no, Mr. DG, if it is a primary investor and a secondary investor. Where was the timing? I saw that.
Honorable Chairman,
Yes,
the
please.
process I spoke to is the process of approving an authorized person license. The point of approving a business of strategic importance is a matter that is determined by Cabinet.
Right, okay, right. So could you tell us when roughly these 70 applications were made, or you have a list, or?
Yes, we do
Can
have,
we
and I
have
can
some
share
indication?
that. Yes, so some of them, there are some that haven't been approved, right, as we sit today. In certain instances, applications were submitted in about March, April 24th. Some of them go back to that time because the application information they supplied was not complete and we couldn't proceed.
So you are saying, if I understand correctly, long before you agreed for the second time, that you will not provide any approvals, or you will not approve, that there were pending applications for more than a month.
Yes, that's correct.
You had?
Yes.
How many of the 70?
There were 54.
Wow. So 54 of the 70?
Before the 4th of, so just to be clear there, the decision, the following the Commission being aware of the IMF, the letter of intent and provided to the IMF on the 4th of July, the decision to seek clarification from the Finance Ministry arose on the 4th of July 2025. As of that day, there were a total of 54 pending
That shocks
applications.
me. That shocks me, Mr. DG. That's a lot. If they were like 2 or 3, I could understand. But if you're 54, that you had...
Again, Chairman, the reason for that, it's not something I think one should be shocked by. I think it's to understand the process and adopted by the Commission in reviewing an application. And we need to be aware, one more point, sir. Until that time, these applicants were coming in and asking for a structure or a license that would have resulted in them possibly having tax incentives going up to 25 years, because that was the framework they were all working under. So the Commission needs to go through a very detailed or as detailed review process before accepting and even recommending, approving and then recommending for these incentives.
Okay, I'm going to open the questions. Just my last point is that have you done and have you, as agreed with the IMF, made it transparent the cost-benefit analysis of each one of those applications you have approved? No. They have approved a bunch now? Earlier? Previously.
No.
Are they available? Where is that?
You mean for the APs or BS?
No,
BSIs.
Cost-benefit analysis is going...
Where they were supposed to, IMF document. You can be selective in your IMF agreements, no?
So the cost-benefit analysis, Chairman, is something that is going forward, and this is what we are in the process of doing now. Once we start approving... with all due respect, I don't think so.
That's for the 4 that you are mentioning.
No, not only 4, previously also. Then there were 4 primary, then there were 20, 30 secondary. How many? 17 secondary. So what I'm asking is, you agreed with the IMF to do a cost-benefit analysis and publish it in the website, right? So these, for instance, these approved BSIs, are you supposed to publish this, the tax expenditure? DG Finance Ministry, DST? Are you not supposed to, according to the IMF agreement, publish so that everybody can see the tax expenditure of every project that you approve in Port City?
No, that's a new act.
No, 2023.
On this 4 authorized company that you said that was signed previously, finally it came into operation. It was given legal right only in July 25.
That's correct.
So that if it was signed, then why was such a big delay?
Just before you answer the honourable member's question, I want an answer to that. Because you agreed with the IMF, right, that beginning June 25, the reporting coverage, that is the Finance Ministry's reporting coverage of tax expenditure, will include the exceptions under Port City. So every AP, BSI, primary, secondary, you are supposed to have published since June 2025. So my question is, are they available?
No,
it's just Finance Ministry's obligation.
Yeah. That is the responsibilities with the Finance Ministry with the introduction of the amendment.
No.
Yes, sir.
No.
That is
March.
the cabinet decision.
No. I'm telling you, March 2025, IMF third review.
Yeah.
I'm reading from the third review of the IMF.
Yeah. May I just clarify?
Please.
As you correctly explained under the review of the IMF agreement, so there are few commitments, among them with regard to Port City. One is the list of firms receiving tax exemption through BOI, SDP and Port City Acts. For Port City Act, the publication will start in June 2025.
Correct.
Actually, we have already published these numbers and also an estimated value for exemption.
Yes.
That is
So we are, Dr. Kapila, we are talking about one number. That is called the tax expenditure number. I'm asking you whether you have published the tax expenditure number for the 17 plus X companies.
Yes.
It is published.
It is published in June, Ministry of Finance website.
No, not June. I'm saying when was it published last?
Last,
How many have been given? Huh?
The budget as well as end of December as well.
Okay, very good. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, on those 4 authorized companies?
I'm sorry,
The
sir.
4 authorized companies that you said that were signed previously, if it was signed then, why did it take such a long time to be given only in July or June?
These 4 received cabinet approval only in July of 2025.
Yeah, so then why did they receive, why did it take such a long time like this? No, you said that it was signed by the previous president, so that means signed, done and dusted. So then why did it take 10 months thereafter?
No, I think, remember, I think Mr. Harsha Amarasekar alluded to what was signed by the previous president was, correct me if I'm wrong, was the letter of intent signed in November 2023. I think that was the reference to.
No. So cabinet has approved in 25, no then? That means this cabinet has violated, no, in that case.
These companies were referred to the ministry, if I remember it correctly, because previously it was with the Ministry of Investment Promotion.
No, the question is, letter of intent is not an agreement. You and I both know that.
Yes, sir.
What was just alluded here was it was
But
done
it was
Yes.
signed by the Honorable Minister of Finance and also the Governor, the Central Bank of...
That is what we are talking about. We are talking about a letter of intent. We were under the impression that this was done during 2024. That these were approved in 2024. That was the understanding I had.
Okay.
And you said we
Sorry.
can't do the same wrong and then make it right, which I agreed with you. But now you are saying it was only a letter of intent.
No, just a moment. DG will clarify your questions, Mr. Karuna.
So I think, yes, so there are, I think the issue was here with the number 4. In July 2025, there were 4 BSIs gazetted as primary, as Dr. Sulakshana alluded to now. Prior to this, there were also 4 other BSIs, primary BSIs that were gazetted under the previous finance ministry.
So
Yeah.
there were 8?
My direct question is, there were 4 companies that got this. When did the cabinet approve this?
Those, so
July
if,
25.
25.
Right, so that's not during Ranil Wickremesinghe.
No.
Right, that's the correct.
So then that means, that means,
It has taken a while.
No, that's okay.
No.
I'm of the basis that Port City will be given all these.
There are 2 sets of
approvals.
4, actually.
there are 2
no, we are looking at, Mr.
But
Chairman,
the
we are looking
time
at the
factor
last
here,
set of
it
4.
was mentioned as
Second
it
set
was
of
the
4.
previous one.
Second set of 4 was in July of 2025,
So
Mr.
the
Chairman.
agreement was breached then in 2025.
No,
The
Chairman.
cabinet approved in July 2025 according to you.
Those were with the permission of the IMF.
Permission, no, otherwise it was done now, not 24.
No. Chairman, if I may, please give me
So
that.
why did the other 50 also get approved?
No,
Why was the selective of 4?
these 4,
I am of the basis that Port City must be given the tax incentive all to sell. So why did you pick only 4 to give it?
not that we picked only 4, Mr. Karunayaka.
You're the commission here.
we
that
did
basically
seek-
selected 4 and given no.
We did seek permission to register as many as we could. The 4 primarily were permitted by the IMF in respect of the significant investment that was coming in through those 4.
One is a duty free, one is
No. Those were all previously. No. Those were all previous, Mr. Karunayaka. The duty-free and them are not the 4 that was...
the 4 companies. What they-
So the 4 companies that were gazetted in July 2025, as Dr. Sulakshana mentioned, is Clothespin Development, which is doing a hotel project, IFC Colombo 1, which is doing a mixed development residential project, Ceylon Real Estate Development Company, which is doing a mixed development project, and ICC Colombo Port City, which is doing a residential project.
I mean, that's not strategic. Those are all housing and development. They have a much bigger things that are there in those other 50 that were there that could have gone through, banks, all those things. I don't agree as to what those 4 selections were for. Look, I'm of the opinion that you should not have been stopped to give these benefits. Right? On that score, why select 4? And those 4 of the least important. You don't need housing development that is there, which is the last time also they came, Port City was basically selling real estate. It's not a necessity for Sri Lanka.
Yeah. As per the information available with us, these 4 are primary BSIs. That means construction of the building necessary to have secondary BSIs, operation and businesses at there. So others are secondary BSIs.
Okay, now you said you selected 4, no? Why
Yes.
not select more important ones that could have brought in value-added services that are there, which are much more important for the financial aspect of the country? So Port City will have to answer that.
Was there any primary ones that was in the application
No,
list?
every primary was approved by IMF as was then pending. Nothing else.
You know, if I may go back to this letter, not a letter, MOU with the IMF, it says, we commit to not provide any further BSI status and corresponding tax exemptions. It does not refer to AP and employee tax. It doesn't. I mean, it may have been sort of, unsaid, but it is not in black and white.
No, but
Can
if
I,
it was
Chairman,
provided to AP Harsha,
sorry.
it would have automatically attracted the tax benefit.
No,
That is why
what I'm
they
saying.
stopped
No,
it.
what I'm saying
Chairman.
is they could have just one moment, please. They could have added authorized person. No, we are not giving authorized person approvals and BSI because BSI is a secondary thing. But yes, sir.
No.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, you're correct, Mr. Chairman. It is not there in black and white. You're absolutely correct, and I agree with you. The wording goes on to say they have pledged to refrain from granting any new Port City related exemptions until the amended Port City Act.
That is
So
correct.
the Port City Act, to our understanding, the only thing that dealt with tax exemptions in the Port City Act is Section 35.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
these things are gone
In
through
our-
by lawyers, and every word that is in there has a meaning. If that word is not there, it has a different meaning, right? I mean, you argue these cases in the Supreme Court all the time, but I want to stop you right there, if you don't mind, and go to the tax advisor, because what was discussed that day somehow seemed to differ from what is being discussed today. In terms
Chairman,
of,
may I just add?
may I get the views from the tax advisor, please? Because he is the one who discussed with us last time.
Yes, Honorable Chair, now we had to do 2 amendments. Basically, one is to the BSI tax incentive regime, which was published in September, and then we have to amend the law in line with that regulation, because the Act provided for 40 years tax holiday, where the regulation provides only for maximum 15 years. In line with that, and to remove this APIT exemption, which was available under the Act, not under the regulation, to remove that exemption, we had to amend the Port City Act. So it may give effect to that amendment. This amendment act was presented, and within the act itself provide for the exemption of APIT of the employees of authorized persons.
That's in the Act.
That is in the act. So
That Act was amended only today.
Act was amended, passed by Parliament on 7th Jan,
By
but
was-
it was endorsed by the Honourable Speaker today, I
today.
think. Yes.
Yeah, so when that Port City Commission asked the Finance Ministry, what was the Finance Ministry's response? Whether they can give AP or not?
Yeah, that response was given by the Corporate Affairs Department.
So, you are referring to the letter that issued on 31st October.
I don't know. You
Yeah,
told
that is
us
the
about
letter.
it.
Yeah.
We haven't seen
That
it
is the
yet.
letter. We gave the references for the cabinet decision and also the change of the tax policies that made by the cabinet decision, and request or instruct Colombo Port City Economic Commission to recommence the process, because we know that we have the correspondence with Port City Economic Commission on reactivation of the process. So we informed them to recommence the reviewing process or the process.
New tax structure,
Yes.
right? That is not with the old tax
No,
structure?
no. That is clear with the IMF. That's why. Otherwise, we are also to promote investment, because
Chairman,
that is
I
also
don't
our
know
mandate.
the reason why we go on this whole technicality, because now the substance is clear. So Sri Lanka had a problem with tax incentives. IMF said, let's not give ad hoc tax incentives until the act was amended. That was the information and the knowledge. Commission has taken a decision to hold. So now we are questioning, why did you hold? What does that mean?
Okay. I mean, you can take that view. That's fine. I mean, so be it. I mean, it's okay. If you don't want, that's fine. The issue is why some have been given, some have not been given. You broke the agreement and gave in 2025 July, right? Big exemptions, massive ones for primary operators, right? You did it anyway, even though you gave an undertaking. But now you are referring to a letter of October, right? Where is the letter in July to the Port City Commission saying stop? Can we have that also?
No, there was no letter by which...
Then how did you act on it?
We tabled the letter of intent at the commission meeting, took note of it, and we then wrote to the Secretary to the Treasury indicating that we had suspended the issuing of the licenses in view of the undertaking given by His Excellency the President, and sought a direction from the ministry as to which way to proceed.
And they gave in October.
Right.
Okay, so you seem to have taken the initiative to stop giving the
Incentives.
Yes,
AP.
as of the 4th of July.
Because
I'm
AP
telling...
comes with the
No.
incentive,
So what I'm telling you is, Mr. Chairman, AP is not here, right? And you as a lawyer would have argued that case, at the price.
No, Mr. Chairman, not as a lawyer. We were engaged in discussions leading up with the Ministry of Finance also, leading up to the signing of the letter of intent.
I'm no longer interested in pursuing this discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Because it is very clear that you wanted to ensure that, with 54 applications in your hand, and I would like to see all 54 letters saying, look, this is missing, that is missing. What was why was it delayed? Like, how long did you take? I mean, we want investments into Port City. We want it to succeed.
But Chairman, you can't bring any investment.
No, you could have 54. No, 54 was there. We didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just found out. I thought 1 or 2. Now the Director General says out of 7.
Process, no, it goes months and months.
Correct. Well,
So what would have done differently?
No, I don't know. I don't even know when they applied.
The practicality of
No. I don't even know when they applied.
Process running.
No, I know there's a process running, Honorable Minister.
So you have to take a decision either to continue the process or discontinue the process. So
No.
they have taken decision to discontinue the process.
What I'm saying is they could have, in my mind, if I were you, Mr. Chairman, I would have gone double the speed to bring the investors in. 54 people, if there were little things. And also, I don't know, Honorable Minister.
What exemption? How do you bring in?
Until July, you could have given the exemption.
Right. So, Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, if I was aware that the letter of intent was going to be signed on the 30th of June, perhaps I would have acted, the Commission might have acted separately. Having said that...
But you said you were in discussions with them.
we were in discussion with the ministry.
The ministry
and not
knew
as
what
to-
was happening.
Other than having discussion about the exemptions, we were not in discussion as to when the letter of intent was going to be signed. Mr.
Okay,
Chairman,
okay.
there are two aspects to this. The Commission's view was that there should be no action taken by the Commission that would undermine the government's ability to go forward with the IMF program. At the time that we took the decision on the 4th of July to suspend the giving of the APs at that time, it was taken in the national interest of Sri Lanka. The Commission also took the decision to process every application that is received henceforth without taking a fee, as we have done during the entire process.
Sorry, what about the fee? What was the fee?
That is, normally when an application is lodged, they are also obliged to remit a fee. Subsequent to the 4th of July, we have accepted 30 applications, processed 30 applications without taking the
No,
fee.
because you were told not to take the fee. Because then
Not
they could
that-
have no, it is here written. Because it says
No,
if
that
you
was a
if they
decision of the
paid
Commission.
an amount, then you are kind of under obligation. It is here. I mean, you don't need to, Mr.
Mr.
DG.
Chairman.
This is Parliament. Don't I mean.
I am
please,
quite
right?
aware where I am,
No,
Mr.
not
Chairman.
you. Not you. The DG. I mean, if it is a laughing matter, you all can laugh at this. It is not a laughing matter for me, Mr. DG. Certainly not a laughing matter. We are having a professional discussion. So please, right, give the committee that respect. So my issue is, we do not know for how long these applications were being processed.
The oldest of the applications, Mr. Chairman, as was adverted to by the DG, came in March
Of
this 2025.
March.
The others were in April, some were in May.
And this went into effect in July. End
July.
of July. Huh?
Most of them were also pending because we were also awaiting advice from the Honorable the Attorney General as to what kind of business could be entertained within the port city. One of the issues that arose for determination at the port city was as to what kind of business Sri Lankan businesses could relocate into the port city, particularly because we were aware of the fact that existing businesses in Colombo or Sri Lanka had previously set up operations within the port city. So these were all considerations that were considered by the members of the Commission, and appropriate advice was sought, and the Commission was acting on those
Before
advices.
you, Mr. Chairman, there was a previous chairman. Like I said, it is the chairman's position that they also took decisions, right? And they took the decisions based on what this whole thing was about.
Yes.
It is right. Look, you are not supposed to cannibalize the business. That is true, right? I mean, if you are having a business on the other side of Gaul Road, and if you bring it to this side of Gaul Road, cannibalization is not what we want. We want to add new business, right?
And-
You said you are acting in the best interest of Sri Lanka. Mr. Chairman, please note that we are all acting in the best interest of Sri Lanka, not anyone else. That need not have been told, because we are all on the same, we have the same intention, right? Having said that, I am no longer going to, that's enough, I think, because now nothing can be done. That these 54 plus the other, totaling to 70 or 74 or whatever. If they want to get it, they will get it. If they don't, they won't.
But Chairman, the fact is, whether it was 5400, all now have to adhere to the new structure, which
That
is
is
the
now,
formality.
that is now, Honorable Minister. I'm talking about July 2025, not now. I am
So
saying.
now, if you really just take a step back and see, if any of those was approved before the June or July undertaking, then there should be another negotiation with IMF whether to continue or not.
No, Because only after July that decision was taken on the,
No,
the
because
income
there's
tax.
an original commitment by the previous president to IMF that there will be no further incentives.
No,
are
that
going
is
to
the
take place.
BSI, Mr. Chairman, Honorable Minister. We are not talking about BSI. We are talking about AP. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't need to split hairs here. We just wanted to see whether we could get investments into the Colombo Port City. Our intention is that, Mr. Chairman, we have always tried long before you became the chairman of this committee, long before the 10th Parliament came into effect, previous Parliament, we have tried our level best to help this. We are trying to help. We are not trying to sabotage this. Mr. Vikramasuriya knows this very well, right? And we have gone out of our way to ensure that these laws are passed, that maximum possible incentives are given. Currently, we have no incentives. That's a fact, right? So please don't think we are trying to pull your leg. We have been trying to support you. So it is in that context, Mr. Chairman, that I raised these questions. And now there is nothing we can do about it. And if you get investments, you get. If you don't, you don't.
But there is a good funnel of investments after this amendment also is coming in.
Okay,
so
good,
I think we
good,
should
good.
respect that and the effort that the Commission is also putting to make
I
it
am
work, right? Because
not questioning the Commission's commitment, right?
the
I'm not-
constraints are outside the Commission, or constraints are coming from either IMF or the all these
But
things.
having said that, Mr. Minister, IMF is not the lawmaker. Like I think appropriately, correctly pointed out by the Honorable Attorney General's Department. The law only became effective
You
today.
know the reality, Ash. I think you should not.
No,
talk
the
about
reality is that
Reality
the law
is-
came into effect today.
How many things this country stopped and changed because of the EFF agreement?
They
If you
all
really
made
go
to
back
law. EFF was made into law. It is in the Economic Transformation Act. We opposed that before you were here. We opposed that. We said don't make it law. It shouldn't be law. The government should be able to negotiate it.
Exactly.
But the previous government didn't. We opposed it. On the Economic Transformation Act, we agreed on everything else but Chapter 2. The Chapter 2 was to make the IMF agreement into law. So
Yeah.
that's not good, because if you are elected by the people, you should have the authority to make amendments. Now we can't. Right? So we can argue this, but IMF we can agree, we can negotiate. It's all a matter of negotiation. We don't have to, Mr. Chairman, just because the IMF says do this, we don't necessarily have to do everything. We can negotiate, always do.
I think that's beyond the powers of the Commission and
Mr. Chairman,
Because our direct
we were
respondent
not-
is the ministry, not you.
Yes, we were not seeking to do what the IMF said. We were only seeking to abide by the agreement that have been signed by His Excellency the President with the IMF.
Okay. On that note, this unless anybody else has got other questions, we are very clear.
I think I have one question. So since that we went on the history, what's the future looks like based on the new tax incentives and the standards that we given, how positive are we about the investments and the funnel that we are coming through?
At the moment, Mr. Minister, of the pending pipeline of BSIs and others, 101 APs have agreed to proceed under the new regulations. And now that out of the 150, thus far only about 10 to 12 have indicated that they are not willing to proceed. Others, we are still awaiting their response. Now that the bill has been certified today, we will be taking steps to approve all of the APs only by circular, and the secondary BSIs will be coming up for approval at the next Commission meeting on the 30th. And if approved after evaluation, they would be recommended to the Cabinet for the Cabinet approval, Mr. Minister.
And what was the funnel size looks like? Is there any indication?
Yes, it is fairly significant in terms of the creation of jobs and the desks, which would be the primary driver for the construction of commercial space and other allied facilities.
Thank you very much. We will follow this up with a letter to the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance seeking clarification on the dates on which these applications were made, how long they were in the process, and what reasons they were, or based on what reasons they couldn't be approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We wish you good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Let's take the IRD matter. Hari. නියෝජනයකන්තුමා අපි කතා කරමු SWAT එක ගැන. අපි කිව්වා අපිව අප්ඩේට් කරන්න කියලා මාසිකව. මම කොන්ටෙක්ස්ට් එක දෙන්නම්. ජනවාරි 15 වෙනිදා තමයි මේ VAT රීෆන්ඩ් දෙන්න එකඟ වෙලා තිබුණේ. දැන් අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් දැනුවත් කරන්න මේ ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් දැනුවත් කරන්නකෝ දැන් තත්ත්වය කොහොමද කියලා. Yes, please. ඔබතුමිය?
ඔව් මම කොමසාරිස් ඉන්ලන්ඩ් රෙවෙනියු ඩිපාර්ට්මන්ට් එකේ ප්‍රියංකා දිසා බණ්ඩාර. ඔව්. මම තමයි ස්වැට් රිපීල් කමිටි එකේ චෙයාපර්සන් විදිහට වැඩ කරේ. ඔව්. ඇත්තටම අපිට ජනවාරි 15 වෙනකොට තමයි දින 45 ඉවර වෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ රිෆන්ඩ් එක. ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ රිටර්න්ස් දුන්න කට්ටියට ජනවාරි 15 වෙනකොට අපි රිෆන්ඩ්ස් දිය යුතුව තිබුණා. එතකොට ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ රිටර්න් එක අපි කිව්වේ ප්‍රොපර් රිටර්න් එකක් දුන්න අයට තමයි අපිට රෙස්පොන්සිබිලිටි එක ආවේ. කියන්නේ ප්‍රොපර් රිටර්න් එකක් කියන එකෙන් අපි අදහස් කරේ ඔක්තෝබර් රිටර්න් එකේ ඩියු ඩේට් එක උනේ නොවැම්බර් 30. නොවැම්බර් 30ට කලින් රිටර්න්ස් දුන්න කට්ටියට තමයි අපිට දින 45න් රිෆන්ඩ් එක දෙන්න උනේ. හැබැයි අපි එහෙම හිතුවේ නැහැ. අපි දැන් මේ වෙනකොට අපිට ලැබුණ හැම රිෆන්ඩ් එකකකම වගේ 90 ගාණක් වෙනකන් අපි රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඉෂුව කරලා තියෙනවා. මම මේක පොඩි සමරියක් කිව්වොත් එහෙම අපිට
ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකක් තියනවද නැත්නම් කියවන්නද?
ස්ලයිඩ්ස් දෙකක් විතර තමයි තියෙන්නේ.
කමන්නේ මම කියවන්න.
මෙහෙම කියන්න.
හරි.
ඔව් එතකොට අපිට රිටර්න්ස් දුන්නා. ඒ කියන්නේ රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඉල්ලලා තිබුණා 872 දෙනෙක්. ඒ 872 දෙනා රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඉල්ලලා තිබුණා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි තෝරගෙන හිටියා එලිජිබල් කැටගරි එකට 1465ක්. හැබැයි එතන ප්‍රොජෙක්ට්ස් උත් එක්ක ඒ වුණාට අපි දන්නවා හැම මාසිකවම මේගොල්ලෝ රිෆන්ඩ් ඉල්ලන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතර මේගොල්ලෝ රිෆන්ඩ් ඉල්ලුවේ ඔක්තෝබර් මාසෙදී 872 දෙනෙක්. මේ 872 දෙනාගෙම ප්‍රොපර් රිටර්න්ස් දීලා තිබුණේ 590යි. ඒතර මේ 590 දෙනා ඉල්ලලා තිබුණා රිෆන්ඩ්ස් බිලියන 13ක්. බිලියන 13ක් ඉල්ලලා තිබුණා. එතකොට මේ බිලියන 13 ඉල්ලුප එකෙන් මේ 590 දෙනාගෙන් 475ක්මත්ම අපි දැනටමත් ඉෂු කරලා ඉවරයි රිෆන්ඩ්ස් දීලා. ඒතර ඒ ටිකේ වටිනාකම වෙන්නේ බිලියන 12.8යි. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි පර්සන්ටේජ් එකක් විදිහට ගත්තොත් 96ක් අර ප්‍රොපර් රිටර්න්ස් කියන එහෙම නැත්නම් ඩියු ඩේට් එකට රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඉල්ලපු කට්ටියට රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඉෂු කරලා ඉවරයි. ඒතකොට තව කොටසක් පෙන්ඩින් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ 590න් 475ක් ගියාම තව 115ක් හිඟ ගෙවන්න තියෙනවා. ඒ ටිකත් අද වෙනකොට ඉෂු කරා. හැබැයි මේ ටික දෙන්න අපිට බැරි වුණේ එතන වැලියු එක හරි අඩුයි. මොකද 96ක්ම අපි රිෆන්ඩ් කරලා ඉවරයි. ඊටු 4 විතරයි මේ තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඒක මිලියන 500කට වඩා අඩුයි. ඒ ටික ප්‍රමාද වුණේ ඇත්තටම අපි රිෆන්ඩ් එකක් නිකුත් කරන්න කලින් බදු ගෙවන්නන්ට කියනවා එයාගේ හිඟ බද්දක් දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවට තියෙනවා නම් ඒක ගෙවන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් රිෆන්ඩ් එකෙන් මේක සෙට් ඔෆ් කරන්න කැමති වෙන්න කියලා. එතකොට අපි බදු ගෙවන්නන්ට මේක දන්නනවා එයාගේ රිටර්න් එක දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවට දෙනකොටම. එතකොට සමහර බදු ගෙවන්නෝ හිටියා ඒගොල්ලෝ මෙතනට රෙස්පොන්ඩ් කරේ නැහැ. ඒතර රෙස්පොන්ඩ් කරේ නැති වුනහම අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් ආවා. අපි ඇත්තටම පස්සේ ඩිසිෂන් එකක් ගත්තා. මොකද අපිට රිෆන්ඩ්ස් නිකුත් කිරීමේ වගකීම තියෙන හින්දා මේ තියෙන කොටස එයාගේ කලෙක්ටබල් කියන ටැක්ස් කොටස එකතු කරලා රිෆන්ඩ් එක නිකුත් කරමු කියලා. හැබැයි ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ පළවෙනි මාසෙනේ අපි රිෆන්ඩ්ස් නිකුත් කරන. ඒ නිසා අපි ඒකට පුංචි කාලයක් ගත්තා. අපි එකපාරට මේ දේ කරන්න ගියේ නැහැ. බදු ගෙවන්නටත් කාලයක් දුන්නා. මොකද බදු ගෙවන්නොත් ඉල්ලීමක් කරා සතියක් දෙකක් කාලයක් දෙන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ට මේ ටික සෙටල් කරන්න කියලා. ඒතර මේ මිලියන 500කට වඩා අඩු ප්‍රමාණයක් තමයි දැනට අපිට රිෆන්ඩ් කරන්න ඉතුරු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. අර નિયમિત විදියට රිෆන්ඩ්ස් රිටර්න් දුන්න කට්ටියගෙන්.
එතකොට මට ඉස්සෙල්ලාම කියන්න තියෙන අපි බොහොම සන්තෝෂයි. අපි කන්ග්‍රැචුලේට් කරනවා ඔබතුමායටත් ඔබතුමාගේ කණ්ඩායමටත් ඒ පොරොන්දු වෙච්ච විදියට මේක සිද්ධ වෙලා තියෙනවා. මම හිතන්නේ පක්ෂ විපක්ෂ ભેදයකින් තොරව අපි සුබ පතනවා. බොහොම හොඳයි. ඒක එක දෙක දැන් අපි ටෙක්නිකල් ඩීටේල් එකට යමුකෝ. දැන් අපේ දීපු recommendation පහක් තියෙනවා 1 2 3 4ක් තියෙනවා ensure transparency of risk rating. දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ මේවා පිළිගත්තා. Be determining risk rating must be made known to the taxpayers. Taxpayers should have the right to access their ratings and understand the factors that influence them. දැන් ඔබතුමිය කිව්වා 1400 ගාණක් තෝරගත්තා කියලා. දැන් මේ criteria එක transparently available ද එක දෙක ඒ කට්ටියට appeal කරන්න ක්‍රමවේදයක් තියනවද?
ඇත්තටම transparent කියන්නේ අපි මේ රිස්ක් රේටින් හදන්න කලින්ම මුළු රට පුරාම ඉන්න බදු ගෙවන්නන්ට දැනුවත් කිරීම කරා. එතකොට අපි කිව්වා අපි රිස්ක් රේටින් එක ගණනය කරන්නෙම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රිටර්න් කම්ප්ලයන්ස් මත, පේමන්ට් කම්ප්ලයන්ස් මත. ඒ කියන්නේ බදු වාර්තාවේ, ඒ කියන්නේ බදු පනතේ, වැට් බදු පනතේ තියෙනවා රික්වයර්මන්ට්ස්. බදු ගෙවන්නේ හරි වෙලාවට රෙජිස්ටර් වෙන්න ඕනේ, හරි වෙලාවට රිටර්න් දෙන්න ඕනේ, හරි වෙලාවට පේමන්ට් කරන්න ඕනේ. මෙන්න මේවා වලට හරියට කම්ප්ලයි කරපු කණ්ඩායම තෝරලා තමයි අපි මේ දේ කරන්නේ කියලා. ඊට අමතරව සමහර කණ්ඩායම් හිටිය තමන්ට හිමි නැති ආපසු ගෙවීම් විදියට එහෙම නැත්නම් හිමි නැති ඉන්පුට් එකක් ඉල්ලන. ඒවත් අපේ දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ තියෙන taxeරු දැනුම දැන් ඇසෙස්මන්ට් වල අපිට තෝරන්න පුළුවන් වුණා. මේ වලින් තමයි අපි ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රිස්ක් රේටින් එක ගණනය කරේ.
එතකොට ඒක මං අහන්නේ දැන් පොයින්ට්ස් ගානක් දෙනවා ඇතිනේ. මේ පොයින්ට් එකට වඩා වැඩි වුණොත් low risk නේ. ඔව්. එතකොට අපිට පුළුවන් ද ඒක challenge කරන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් ඒ criteria එකට අපිට ඒක publicly available මෙන්න මෙහෙමයි points දෙන්න කියලා
නෑ අපිට ඒක දෙන්න බෑ ඇත්තටම මොකද risk rating එකක්වත් ඕනම දෙයක rating එකක් හදනකොට අපි ඒක weight කරනවා. ඒතර මේ weightings ටික අපිට එළියට දුන්නොත් ඒක අපේ administrative purpose එකේදී ඒක ගොඩාක් අපිට කරදරයක් වෙනවා. ඒ නිසා තමයි අපි බදු ගෙවන්නන්ට ඒ දැන නොකියුවේ. හැබැයි බදු ගෙවන්න එයා මොන risk category එකේ හිටියත් එයාට අපි දින 45ක් ගත වෙන කලින් refund එක දෙනවා කියන පොරොන්දුව තියෙනවා. එතකොට ඒ අයට කිසිම විදියකින් දැන් අපි මේ රිෆන්ඩ් කරපු අයගෙන් වැඩිපුරම රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඉක්මනින්ම රිෆන්ඩ් ගියා හයි රිස්ක් කැටගරි එකට. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ට තොරතුරු අපි කියලානේ තිබුණේ. ඒතර හරියට එයා අපි ඉල්ලනකොට දවසෙන් දෙකෙන් එයාගේ තොරතුරු ගෙනත් දෙනවා. ඒ විදියට කරා. ඉතින් අර
මම මේක වැරදියට තේරුම් ගත්තා. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ 96ක් දුන්නේ ලෝ රිස්ක් කට්ටිය විතරක් නෙමෙයිද?
නෑ නෑ අපේ ඔක්කොටම අපි දීලා තියෙනවා. ඔව්.
ඒ කියන්නේ ලෝ රිස්ක් කට්ටියට දෙන්න තිබ්බ දින 45න්
නෑ ඔක්කොටම ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට
හයි රිස්ක් කට්ටියට මාස 6ක් නේද?
නෑ හැමදේනම අපේ රිස්ක් කැටගරි එක අපි බලන්නේ නෑ රිෆන්ඩ් එක නිකුත් කරනකොට. එයා මොන රිස්ක් රේටින් එකේ හිටියා වුණත් අපි දින 45ක් ඇතුළත රිෆන්ඩ් එක දෙනවා. ඔව්. එතකොට 6 month එක තියෙන්නේ අපේ එලිජිබල් කැටගරියට නොවැටෙන කණ්ඩායමට. ඒ කියන්නේ අපේ එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලා අපි බෙදා ගන්නවා එලිජිබල් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලා සහ එලිජිබල් නොවන කණ්ඩායම් කියලා. එලිජිබල් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කියලා කියන්නේ කලින් කැලෙන්ඩර් එකේ 50%කට වඩා එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරපු ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරපු කට්ටිය ඒ අයට තමයි ඇත්තටම කෑෂ් ෆ්ලෝ ඉෂුව එකක් එන්නේ. ඒ නිසා තමයි ඒ අයට දින 45න් රිෆන්ඩ් එක කරන්නේ. ඒතර මේ රිෆන්ඩ් එක කරනකොට අපි කිසිම අවස්ථාවක බෙදුවේ නැහැ ලෝ මීඩියම් හයි කියන එක්කෙනාට පහු කරනවා කියලා. ඒක අපේ ඇඩ්මිනිස්ට්‍රේටිව් පර්පස් අපේ තියෙන සේවක මණ්ඩලයේ අඩුකම එතකොට අපිට තියෙන වර්ක් ලෝඩ් එක වැඩිකම නිසා ඉක්මනින් රිෆන්ඩ් නිකුත් කරන්න හදාගත්තු ක්‍රමවේදයක් තමයි මේ රිස්ක් බේස් රිෆන්ඩ් සිස්ටම් එක.
එතකොට දැන් හැම ටැක්ස් පේයර්ම VAT ගෙවන SWAT ගෙවපු කලින් SWAT එකේ හිටපු හැම බිස්නස් රෙජිස්ට්‍රේෂන් එකේ මේ ඒ බිස්නස් එකම දන්නවද ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ රිස්ක් රේටින් එක මොකක්ද කියලා?
නෑ ඒක ඒගොල්ලන්ට අවශ්‍යතාවයක් උනේ නෑ. මොකද මෙතනදී අපේ මේ රිෆන්ඩ් හිමි වෙන්නේ ඉස්සර SWAT කියලා ලියාපදිංචි වුණු හැම දෙනාටම නෙවෙයි. ඉස්සර SWAT කියලා ලියාපදිංචි වුණා ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කණ්ඩායම් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලට සපයන කණ්ඩායම් ඇතුළු හැම දෙනාම. එතකොට දැන් ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන කෙනාට විතරයි මේ අලුත් රිෆන්ඩ් සිස්ටම් එක ආවේ. අනිත් අයට රිෆන්ඩ්ස් එකක් හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද එයා කරන්නේ එයා සපයන කෙනාගෙන් එකතු කරගන්න එකනේ වැට් එක. ඒ නිසා එයාට රිෆන්ඩ් එකක් හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒතර රිෆන්ඩ් එකක් ජෙනරේට් වෙන්නෙම ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන කෙනෙකුට විතරයි. එතකොට ඒ අයට අපි ඒක විශේෂයෙන් දැනුවත් කරේ නැහැ. මොකද හේතුව ඒක අපේ ඉන්ටර්නල් පර්පස් අපි හදන්නේ. එතකොට අපි එයා මොන රිස්ක් රේටින් එකේ හිටියත් අපි එයාට කිසි හානියක් කරලා නැහැ. දින 45න් රිෆන්ඩ් එක දෙන එක රිස්ක් කැටගරි එක බලලා නෙවෙයි දෙන්නේ.
අපි ඔබතුමියට ලියුමක් කියවලා තියෙනවා ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ 17 වෙනිදා. හැබැයි අවසනාවට ඔබතුමිය අපිට ඒකට රිප්ලයි එකක් එවලා නැහැ. ඒකේ අපේ කමිටුවේ සියලු සමාජිකයන්ගේ එකඟත්වයෙන් අපි ඔබතුමියට කිව්වා may support local suppliers, indirect exporters. Examine the possibility of granting deemed exporter status to local suppliers who provide a substantial portion for example, 80 to 80% of their material or components to direct exporters. This initiative would help mitigate the disadvantages faced by local suppliers compared to international competitors who import VAT free කියලා. දෙවැනි එක අපි කියලා තිබුණේ comprehensive supply chain approach, analyze the full exporter vertical මම හිතන්නේ කරු ඇමතුමා තමයි මේක කිව්වේ, and introduce an online automated system to capture the entire supply chain including indirect exporters to address underlying operational challenges කියලා. ඒ recommendation එකට ඔබතුමියගෙන් අපිට පිළිතුරක් ලැබුණේ නැහැ. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ලියුමක් එවම එකට පිළිතුරක් එවන එක තමයි හරි. ඒ නිසා මේක පස්සේ හරි එවන්න. නමුත් අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් එක්ස්ප්ලেইন කරනවාද දැන් ඔබතුමිය කිව්වානේ ඉන්ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලාට කිසි කෙනෙකුට ලැබුණ නැහැ කියලා. එතකොට දැන් මේක සමාලෝචනයක් කරන්න ක්‍රමවේදයක් තියනවාද? ඒ කියන්නේ හිතනවාද? සප්ලයි චේන් එක ගැන කල්පනා කරනවාද?
ඔව් සභාපතිතුමා කියන්නේ දැන් එක පුද්ගලයෙක් ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කෙනෙකුට සපයනකොට ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් සල්ලි වැට් කොටස ගෙවලා තමයි එයාගේ බඩු පර්චේස් කරන්නේ. එතකොට ඒ අවස්ථාවේදී අර ඉන්ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කියන්නේ ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ට භාණ්ඩ සපයන කෙනානේ, භාණ්ඩ හෝ සේවා. එතකොට ඒ සපයන කෙනාට අර එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ගෙන් වැට් කොටස හම්බ වෙනවා මුදලින්. ඒ නිසා එයාට කොයිම වෙලාවකවත් රිෆන්ඩ් එකක් හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. රිෆන්ඩ් එකක් බොහොම කලාතුරකින් හැදෙන්න පුළුවන්. එයාගේ ලොකු ඉන්පුට් එකක් ආපු වෙලාවක එයා මැෂින්ස් ඉම්පෝට් කරපු ඒ වගේ අවස්ථාවක් ආවොත් විතරයි. එහෙම නැත්නම් එයාගේ හැම වෙලාවෙදීම එයාගේ ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන කොටසට වඩා එයා ලෝකල් සේල් කරන කොටස වැඩි. ඒ වැඩි කියන්නේ ඒකට වැට් එක එකතු වෙනවනේ.
ඒ කියන්නේ 150 නම් ඔව් 150 නම් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් හැටියටද යන්නේ?
ඔව් 150ට වඩා වැඩි වෙනකොට මෙයා එලිජිබල් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් ගටට ගිහිල්ලා එයාට රිෆන්ඩ් හැදෙනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඩීම් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කියන්නේ 50ට වඩා අඩු නම් පමණයි.
ඔව් අපි කියන්නේ ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට්. නෑ ඩීම්ඩ් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් කියලා කියන්නේ ඩිරෙක්ට් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් 150ට වඩා අඩුවෙන් කරන කණ්ඩායමුත් ඉන්නවනේ.
නෑ මම අහන්නේ 150ට වඩා වැඩිපුර එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලාට සපයන සප්ලයි චේන් එකේ කට්ටියට රිෆන්ඩ් හම්බුණාද නැද්ද?
නෑ ඒගොල්ලන්ට රිෆන්ඩ් එකක් හැදෙන්නේ නෑ.
50ට වඩා වැඩි නම්
නෑ කොහොමදත් හැදෙන්නේ නෑ. මොකද එයා කරන්නේ
ඩීම්ඩ් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් සප්ලයි කරන්නේ එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ට.
ඔව්.
එතකොට එක්ස්පෝර්ටර් එයාට එවෙලෙම කෑෂ් ගෙවනවා. වැට් එකත් එක්ක.
ඔව් වැට් එක ගෙවනවානේ.
ඔව් වැට් එක
එතකොට එයාට එන්නේ කෑෂ් ෆ්ලෝ පොසිටිවිටි.
පොසිටිව් වෙන්නේ.
හරි මට තේරෙනවා. එතකොට එතන ගැටලුවක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ.
ගැටලුවක් එන්නේ
නැහැ. එතන අර ගැටලුව තාම තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලා දැන් යම් කිසි මට්ටමකට හැපි කියපු දවස් 45ට ඇතුළත හම්බෙන නිසා. හැබැයි එක්ස්පෝර්ටර්ස්ලාට කෑෂ් ෆ්ලෝ සයිකල් එකක් තියෙනවානේ. ඒ කෑෂ් ෆ්ලෝ සයිකල් එකේ කොස්ට් එක වැඩි කියලා. ලෝකල් සප්ලයි කරන කෙනෙක් අතහැරලා ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් යන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ රිස්ක් එක තාම තියෙනවා.
ඒක තියෙනවා. මම පිළිගන්නවා. මොකද ඒකට අදාළව තමයි අපි දෙවැනි රෙකමෙන්ඩේෂන් එක තිබුණේ implement an interest rate for delayed refunds. දැන් පනතේ තියෙනවා prescribe and implement an interest rate at permitted by existing law if refunds are not paid within the mandated 45-day period. දැන් එතකොට දැන් apply කරලා තියෙන හැමෝටම ගෙවලා නැහැනේ.
ඔව් ගෙවලා නැති වෙන්න ඔව් අපිට
ඊට පස්සේ ඒකට තියෙනවා specifying what constitutes a permissible delay. අපි ඒකක් දැම්මා. මොකද හැම එකනටම හරි ඒ වෙලාවෙන් ලැබෙන්න ඕනේ නැති කියන. දැන් මෙතන තියෙන්නේ prescribe and implement. දැන් prescribe කරාද?
ඔව් prescribe කරන්න අපි
මොකක්ද interest rate
නෑ අපි දැන්ට මිනිස්ට්‍රියත් එක්ක සාකච්ඡා කරගෙන යනවා මේකට. මොකද ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ කියන්නේ අර පළවෙනි මාසේ නිසා සභාපතිතුමා ඇත්තටම අපිත් පරීක්ෂා කරගෙන තමයි මේ රිෆන්ඩ් එක නිකුත් කරේ. එතකොට පොඩි හරි ඩිලේ එකක් වුණොත් කියන හින්දා
දැන් ඒක අදාළ නෑනේ. මේක අදාළ නෑනේ process එකට. මේක වෙනම දෙයක්. මේ තියෙන්නේ මොකද්ද market interest rate එක මොකද්ද? ඒකට අදාළව මේ කොම්පන්සේෂන් එකක් ගෙවන්න ඕන එකනේ. දැන් මෙතන කියන්නේත් ඒකනේ ගරු ඇමතුමා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට cost of capital එකක් තියෙනවානේ. ඒතකොට ඩිලේ නොවුනත් 45ක carrying cost එකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි 45ට වඩා ඩිලේ වුණොත් එතකොට මේක අපි ගිය පාර ඉතාමත්ම පැහැදිලි කරා.
Ministry of Finance එකට අපි කිව්වා.
ඔව්. මෙතුමේ Ministry of Finance නේ?
නෑ. මම දේශීය ආදායම.
sorry. DST Mr. මුදලිගේ Dr. මුදලිගේ දැන් ඔබතුමන්ලාට අපි කෙලින්ම කිව්වා මේ ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් රේට් එක ඔක මහ ලොකු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් රේට් එක මොකක්ද කියන එක ප්‍රයිම් ප්ලස් මොකක් හරි TB ප්ලස් මොකක් හරි එකක් දාත හැකිනේ.
ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් රේට් ලෙවල් එකේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒක තමයි ඩිස්කෂන් ලෙවල් එකේ තියෙන්නේ.
මං හිතන්නේ කමිටුව එකඟ වෙයි ඉක්මන් කරන්න කියලා කිව්වොත් ඒක.
process එකක් තියෙනවා හැමෝටම interest ගෙවන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. You have to analyze and do. You have to specify the interest rate. ඒක ඔයගොල්ලෝ හදාගන්න regulation එකේදී quarterly ද කරන්නේ 6 months ද කරන්නේ annually ද කරන්නේ that's not a problem. But that those days we discussed because to give more confidence to the exporters. Now I think they are more than confident that they are getting it for 45 days. But it's good to have, no? Not even this. In general, if the tax refunds are delayed, not only this, because there are so many refunds that are pending for many years, certain sectors. And I think you are clearing it out one by one. This year there has been many clearances, but for the industry side, it's good to specify.
If you are the exporter, you get anyway. Ne? If you are an exporter, exporting 20%.
No.
No, exporter exporting 20%.
More than 50%. Direct exports more than 50%.
අපි හිතමු අපි exporter කෙනෙක් මේ supply chain එකේ ඇතුලේ මල් ගේන එක්ක නෙමෙයි. මම කොළඹ ලංකාවට විකුණනවා export උත් කරනවා. ලංකාව විකුණනකොට මම VAT invoice එකක් දෙනවා. ඒතර මම 118 එකතු කර ගන්නවා. එතකොට මට export එකට VAT invoice එකක් දෙන්න බෑ. එතකොට ඉස්සර තිබුණ ක්‍රමය නෙමෙයි දැන් ඕගොල්ලෝ මට දින 45කින් රිෆන්ඩ් එක දෙනවා. එතකොට වෙන්නේ මට ඒ 118 හෝල්ඩින් කොස්ට් එක ගැන තමයි මේ කතා කරන්නේ. එච්චරයිනේ. කවුරුණත් කවල ඔක්කොම එකයි. හෝල්ඩින් කොස්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. එච්චරයි. හැබැයි ඉතින් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් එක වැඩි වෙන්න හෝල්ඩින් කොස්ට් එකේ ගන්න වැඩි වෙනවා. මොකද ලෝකල් විකුණනවා නම් 80%ක් ඒ වෙලාවම කෑෂ් ලැබෙනවා. එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කරනවා නම් 80%ක් කෑෂ් ලැබෙන දින 45කින්. ඒක ස්ලයිඩ් ඩිසෙන්සිටිව් එකක් තියෙනවා.
දින 45කින් නෙවෙයි දින 45ක් ගත වීමට පෙර තමයි රිෆන්ඩ් එක කරන්නේ.
නේද? අපි සන්තෝෂයි කිව්වේ ඒකනේ.
And also they are moving to the digital invoicing also. If that happens, it can be a 2-day, 3-day process going forward.
No, good. I mean, if something is good, කුහක වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ හොඳයි කියන්නේ. එහෙම අවුලක් නැහැ අපිට. හරි එතකොට establish a formal appeals process. ඒකට මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ?
නෑ ඇත්තටම අපීල් එකක් අපිට දෙන්න වුණොත් ඉන්නම් සභාපතිතුමා එතන ඇත්තටම අපිට දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවට ඇඩ්මිනිස්ට්‍රේෂන් ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩාක් එනවා. මොකද බදු ගෙවන්නාගේ රිස්ක් රේටින් එක අපි ගණනය කරන්නේ අපේ ඇඩ්මිනිස්ට්‍රේටිව් පර්පස් එකටනේ. එතකොට කවුරු මොන විදිහෙන් අපි ආව රිස්ක් රේටින් එකට දැම්මත් එයා අපීල් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම වුණොත් හැමදාමත්ම අපිට අපීල්ස් එන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් අපි යට කිසි හානියක් කරලා නැති නිසා අපි ඇත්තටම අපි රිස්ක් රේටින් එක බදු ගෙවන්නාට කියන එකට එච්චර කැමැත්තක් දැක්ුවේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම තමයි ඒක කියන්නෙත් නැත්නම් අපීල් කිරීමේ අවශ්‍යතාවයක් ඉන්නෙත් නැහැ.
නෑ අපීල් කරන්න පරක් වුණොත්
පරක් වුණොත් අපීල් කරන්න දෙයක් ඇත්තටම වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද ඔව් පරක් එයාට ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එකක් ගෙවන කතන්දරේ විතරයිනේ එතකොට එන්නේ.
ඒක තමයි ඕගොල්ලෝ තාම ප්‍රොමල්ගේට් කරලා නැහැ නේද?
නෑ අපිට තියෙන්නේ ප්‍රෙස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරන්න විතරයි. ඒ කියන්නේ පනතේ තියෙන. ඔව් ප්‍රෙස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරන්න ඉච්චර අපහසු දෙයක් නෙවෙයි. පනතේ තියෙන.
අපි ගිය පාරත් කිව්වා අපි ඔක්තෝබර් මාසේ කිව්වා ඒක ප්‍රෙස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරන්න කියලා. දැන් කරලා නැහැනේ මුදල් අමාත්‍යාංශය. ඒක කරන්න.
සභාපතිතුමා ඇත්තටම අදත් අපි ඩිස්කෂන් එකක් තිබ්බා IRD ඔෆිසර්ස්ලත් එක්ක ඒ සම්බන්ධයෙන්. අපි තවදුරටත් තව පොඩි කාලෙකුත් යනවා ඒක පොඩ්ඩක්
හැබැයි මෙහෙමනේ ડોක්ටර් මේ කාර්යය බැලුවොත් 99ක් තියෙන IRD එකක් තේ 100ට එකයි ඕගොල්ලන්ට තිබුණේ වැඩේ 99 වැඩේ කරා එකේ වැඩේ කරේ නැහැ
PC 99ම කරා මොකද අපිත් එක්ක එයාලයි අපි එකට
නෑ ඒගොල්ලෝ අපි ෆිනෑන්ස් මිනිස්ටර් නෙමෙයි අපි IRD කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ කෙලිම ඕගොල්ලෝගෙන් අයින් වුණා
process එකම develop කරු එකතු වෙලා තමයි සර්.
මම කියන්නේ මේක ඉක්මන් කරලා කරන්න. ඒක කාටවත් හොඳයි. right. අනිත් එක මේ refund backlog එකට මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ? මට මේ කෙනෙක් හම්බුණා. එතුමා මට කිව්වා 2010 ඉඳලා refund එකක් ලැබිලා නැහැ කියන්නේ. දැන් අවුරුදු 16ක්.
නෑ සභාපතිතුමා ඇත්තටම දැන් ඒකට රිෆන්ඩ් අපි කරගෙන යනවා. ඒ රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ටික අපි දැනටමත් මේ ඇත්තටම මේක මොනිටර් වෙනවා. හැම මාසෙකම ඒගොල්ලෝ කරන රිෆන්ඩ් ප්‍රමාණය මොනිටර් කරනවා. දැනට අපි බිලියන 44.8ක ප්‍රමාණයක් 25 අවුරුද්ද ඇතුළත රිෆන්ඩ් කරලා තියෙනවා. මේක කෑෂ් රිෆන්ඩ් විතරක් නෙවෙයි. එයාගොල්ලෝ සමහරලාට පේමන්ට් එකක් කරපු නැති ඒවට ජර්නල් ට්‍රාන්ස්ෆර්ස් කරන ඒ වගේම ක්‍රෙඩිට් වවුචර්. මේ හැම එකකම එකතුව පරණ රිෆන්ඩ්ස් බිලියන 44.8ක් අපි කරලා තියෙනවා. මොකද හැම මාසෙම මේක මොනිටර් කරනවා අපි. එතකොට එතන රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ප්‍රමාණය විදිහට ගත්තොත් 10132ක්.
තව කොච්චර තියෙනවද රිෆන්ඩ්ස්?
තව තියෙනවා 7000කට කිට්ටුව තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අද දක්වා.
ඒ කියන්නේ in court or out of court?
In court. No, out of that means within the department.
Within the
department. ඒ කියන්නේ up to September 30th. ඊට පස්සේ මේ රිෆන්ඩ් ක්‍රමවේදය වෙනස් වුණානේ. ඒතර September 30th වෙනකන් කියන්නේ දෙසැම්බර් 25 දෙසැම්බර් වෙනකොට අපිට ඉතුරු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ 5799ක් තියෙනවා කෑෂ් රිෆන්ඩ් රික්වෙස්ට් කරන cases. ක්‍රෙඩිට් වවුචර්ස් රික්වෙස්ට් කරන 1547ක් තියෙනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ මේ නඩු නැති ඒවනේ ඔය කියන්නේ.
ඔව් නඩු නැති
අපිට තව ඉතින් කොච්චර කාලය ආයිද මේක ඉවර කරගන්න?
නෑ අපිට මේ 10000 ගානම කරන්න පොඩි කාලයයි ගියේ. මොකද දැන් මෙතන රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ගොඩාරියක් අලුත් රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ටික හැදෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ අලුත් රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ඔක්කොම වගේ යන්නේ අලුත් යුනිට්ස් වලටනේ. එතකොට මේ ඉතුරු රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ටික ඒ අයට කරන්න පුළුවන් කොහොමත් මාස 6ක් යනකොට
අපිට මේ කමිටුවට මෙහෙම දෙයක් කියන්නකෝ. ඒ කියන්නේ 2024ට වඩා කොච්චර ප්‍රෝග්‍රෙසිව්ද 25. ඒතකොට අපිට රන් රේට් එක පේනවනේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ හරි ප්‍රොසෙස් එකේ යනවා කියලා. කියන්නේ 2023 24 25 ගත්තොත් 25 කොච්චර රිෆන්ඩ්ස් අපි කරලා තියෙනවද එක්ස්පීඩයිට් කරපු නිසා?
ඔව් 25 ඩේටා තමයි මංගාව තියෙන්නේ. 25 අවුරුද්දේ ජනවාරි ඉඳලා ගත්තොත් අපි කේසස් 10132ක් කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර මේ කේසස් වල වටිනාකම මුල අපි මැයි මාසේ වෙනකම් වටිනාකම ගත්තේ නැහැ. රිෆන්ඩ් ගාන විතරයි ගත්තේ. ඊට පස්සේ අපි වැලියුස් එක ගත්තා. ඒතර ජූනි මාසේ ඉඳලා වැලියු එක ගත්තොත් තමයි මං කිව්වේ බිලියන 44.8ක් රිෆන්ඩ් කරලා තියෙනවා කියලා. එතකොට මේ අර
ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ දැනුම අනුව කොච්චරක් තියෙනවද ඉල්ලලා ඔය ටෝටල් ක්වොන්ටම් එක නේද? ඒ කියන්නේ 45 බිලියන් අපි රිලීස් කරා නම්
ඔව්
කොච්චර බිලියන්ස් ගාණක් කොහොම ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවද?
ඒ බිලියන්ස් ගාණ අපේ තියෙන data system එකෙන් ගන්න ටිකක් අමාරුයි. ඒ නිසා තමයි මම අර ප්‍රමාණය කිව්වේ refund request කරන ගාණ.
So that means 5000 taxpayers are still waiting to clear
for their refund. Okay. Yes, that means around 7000 they are waiting. That is up to September 30th 2025.
And what you are saying is there a trend of accumulating such in 2025 2024, or are these like way back to 2000 2005 likewise?
Yes, up to 30th December 2025 this is the open work item amount. That means that is the amount that we have to refund.
My question is, are we adding new claims?
Yes.
මහමුකෝ ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපිට ට්‍රෙන්ඩ් එක බලන්නේ ක්‍රම දෙකකනේ. අපි එක පැත්තකින් ක්ලියර් කරන් යනවා. ක්ලියර් කරන් යද්දි එහා සා ප්‍රමාණයක් අවුරුද්දකට ඇඩ් වෙනවා නම් ඒක වැඩකුත් නැහැනේ.
ඔව් නෑ.
මම අහන්නේ මේ මෑත කාලය ගත්තොත් 2024 25 ඔහොම රිෆන්ඩ්ස් හිර වෙලා තියෙනවා. හිර වෙනවද? නෑ.
ඒ දිගටම හිර වෙලා තිබුණ රිෆන්ඩ්ස් ටික තමයි අපි මේ 25 අවුරුද්දේ සෙටල් කරේ.
ඒක තමයි මම අහන්නේ. එතකොට දැන් ඒ ප්‍රමාණයෙන් ඇඩ් වෙන්නේ නැහැනේ මේ අවුරුද්දේ.
නෑ දැන් ඇඩ් වෙන්නේ නැහැනේ.
මේ රිෆෝම් හින්දා යන්නේ ඇඩ් වෙන ප්‍රමාණය ගොඩක් අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. 24 සාපේක්ෂව අපි ගාව දැන් ඩේටා නැහැ ගොඩක් අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා.
Okay, and so the Committee of Public Finance appreciates on record the good work of the Commissioner General Mrs. Fernando, Mrs. Disa Bandara, and all their staff. Just make a note of it. We are pleasantly. Well, I'm a little bit surprised as well, to be honest.
I think the exporters were extremely happy.
I'm sure.
They were just saying that they will adhere to this VAT, but as long as it's getting paid below 45 days, so they have committed to it. I think that is a great win for the country, because we would have held it up if we gave up to the inquiries and the protests. But now as a country we have moved ahead and
the Inland Revenue Department was not built yesterday. It has a 100-year history. Many people before this government supported, built, this agency. So I have two last matters. මේ මම කමිෂනර් ජෙනරල්ටත් කතා කරා අපිට දැනුවත් වුණා මේ දැන් ඔය පිටරටින් ගෙනල්ලා last mile delivery කරන කට්ටිය ඉන්නවනේ last mile delivery courier companies මේගොල්ලෝ VAT ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. මේ කිසි කම්පැනියක් VAT ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. පස්සේ අපි එක කෝල් කරලා ඇහුවා. එතකොට කිව්වා ඔඩිට් එකක් කරනවා කියලා මේ last mile delivery කරන පුද්ගලයෝ VAT ගෙවනවද නැද්ද කියලා. මම හිතන් හිටියෙත් නෑ මේක මේගොල්ලෝ සමාජයේ කතා වෙච්ච විදියට සෑහෙන ප්‍රමාණයක්. ඉතින් ඒක පොඩ්ඩක් මතක් කරන්න ඒක CGට කිව්වා පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්න ඒක අපිට ඊළඟ පාර මේ ඒ පිළිබඳව පොඩි දැනුවත් වීමක් කරන්න. අනිත් එක තමයි අපි එතුමියට තව එකක් ලිව්වා මේ මේ තියෙන්නේ අපි 7 වෙනිදා ලිව්වා access to the feasibility of waiver of taxes to private sector enterprises affected by අපි මේ සාකච්ඡා කරා මේක by the cyclone for the replacement of damaged or destroyed industrial machinery and equipment and submit a report on the findings to the committee by 20 January 26. ඒ කියන්නේ අද ඒක මොකක්ද දන්නේ උනේ
ගල් සභාපතිතුමා මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි IDB එකත් එක්ක මීටින් එකක් තිබ්බා. ඊට පස්සේ අපි එයාගෙන් ඇහුවා සෙක්‍රටරි මිනිස්ටර් ඔෆ් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීස්ටත් ලියලා මේ එක ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රි කොච්චර ඩැමේජ් වුණාද මොනවාද එයාලට ගේන්න තියෙන ඉක්විප්මන්ට් කියලා. ඒක අපි හෙට තමයි ඇත්තම ක්ලෝසින් ඩේට් එක තියෙන්නේ මේ එවන්න වෙන දිනේ. අපි ඒකට පස්සේ රිපෝට් එකක් දෙන්නම් ඒ කියන්නේ මොනවාද ඉක්විප්මන්ට් අවශ්‍යතාවයත් එක්ක බලලා.
Just to give you update, so two processes. One is that IDB went and evaluated. Now large scale industries, 208 we have data, and others are they are evaluating and submitting their machinery requirements. Some needs repairs, some needs full replacement.
Yeah.
So this data has to be compiled in order for Ministry of Finance to make a decision what kind of a concession that will give. One is that a waiver, other one is to be very pragmatic about it, allow them to bring it down and then you repay the tax, something like that. So,
refund it or something.
Yeah, so that decision has to be there. So for the industrialists, we've said was, since the ministry has given a soft loan, like at a 3%, you use that and you go ahead so that we would clearly know what are the, because none of them have stopped work. Everybody has started and running, but we also don't want the misuse of this facility. Because if it's a BOI, there's a clear control over which machine comes in, which machines goes out and what's getting utilized. Now for the rest of the ones who are not administered, we have to, I think with the IDB also we discussed whether we could bring in a third party to verify this is the exact loss and the exact machinery, so it will take a little time though. But the
I think that is what we were discussing in the committee also. No, if it is an insurance claim, then that is clear.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there is some accredited agency that can go and check assessors,
So,
valuers and people like that.
So we had a discussion with UNDP also to see whether they could facilitate this third party to come in be above IDB. So this will take place, but still in gathering of data.
Okay. Thank you very much. Meeting is adjourned. Good afternoon. Oh, one more, sorry. Sorry. DG, sorry. Women's Commission එක මේ අපි ඔබතුමාට අද ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න කියලා කිව්වා. ඇයි මේ සල්ලි මේ allocate කළා නැති කියලා Women's Commission එකට. ඔව්. අපේ Women's Commission එකේ සභාපතිතුමිය අපිට කෝල් කර අහනවා සල්ලි කෝ කියලා.
2026 approved estimate එකේ මේ request එක ආවේ නැහැ. අපි අයවැය හදන වෙලාවේ මේක ඔපරේෂන් එකේ තිබුණේ නැහැ විමන්ස් කමිෂන් එක. ඒ නිසා ප්‍රතිපාදන දාන්න බැරුණා 2026 අයවැයට. නමුත් ඒගොල්ලෝ අපෙන් අතිරේක ප්‍රතිපාදනයක් ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවා. ඒ අතිරේක ප්‍රතිපාදනයට අපි ඇක්ෂන් ප්ලෑන් එක ඉල්ලලා තියෙනවා ගරු සභාපතිතුමනි විධායක අධ්‍යක්ෂකවරයෙක් හිටියේ නැහැ ආයතනයේ ස්ටාෆ් එක තිබුණේ නැති නිසා. එතකොට දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ ඇක්ෂන් ප්ලෑන් එක හදලා අපි අදත් කතා කරා.
කවුද හදලා තියෙන ඇක්ෂන් ප්ලෑන් එක?
විමන්ස් කමිෂන් එකේ විධායක අධ්‍යක්ෂකතුමියා පත් කරලා තියෙනවා රීසන්ලි. එයා දැන් ඇක්ෂන් ප්ලෑන් එක හදලා මිනිස්ට්‍රිය through අපිට එවනවා කිව්වා. අපිට අතිරේක ප්‍රතිපාදන දෙන්න පුළුවන්.
Which ministry this belongs to?
කාන්තාහ ළමා කටයුතු.
එතන තව කොච්චර කාලෙ ඇයිද මේ ඇලොකේෂන් එක දෙන්න?
සභාපතිතුමා අපිට ඇක්ෂන් ප්ලෑන් එක ආපු ගමන් ඒක දවසක වැඩක් තියෙන එක අපිට දෙන්න පුළුවන්.
එහෙනම් අපි අප්ඩේට් කරලා තියනවද?
පුළුවන්.
හරි. බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
asianmirror.lk